Hey everyone, and welcome. In the tech world, it feels like everything is about what's next, right? The next sprint, the next feature, the next big release. So today, we're going to dive into the grammar you absolutely need to talk about the future with total confidence. Honestly, getting these future time expressions right is a huge game changer for clear communication. In an industry that moves this fast, talking clearly about the future isn't just a nice little skill to have. It's completely essential. Think about it for a second. Whether you're planning a project roadmap or scheduling a critical software deployment, the words you pick can be the difference between a smooth launch and a really costly delay. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with why this is so important in tech. Then we'll get into the basics, plans versus those on-the-spot decisions. From there, we'll talk about arrangements and fixed schedules. Then level up to describing future progress. We'll cover a really important rule about time clauses, and finally, we'll wrap it all up with a quick summary and some common mistakes you can start avoiding today. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's jump right in. Why are we so focused on the future? Well, because in technology, any little bit of confusion about what's happening next can cause some serious headaches. We're talking misaligned teams, blown budgets, and delayed projects. When you're talking about the future, clarity is everything.
Just look at what we're always talking about. Project plans, release schedules, testing timelines, you name it. Choosing the right way to talk about the future isn't just about sounding correct. It's about being seen as a precise, professional, and reliable teammate in all these critical moments.
All right, let's start building the foundation of our future tense toolkit. We're going to begin with the two heavy hitters, the ones you'll use every single day: will and be going to.
The best way to think about this is to see be going to as your project blueprint. It's for the plans you've already made. Will, on the other hand, is like your quick reaction tool. You use it for those immediate, on-the-spot decisions and offers.
So here's the key takeaway. When you use be going to, you're sending a clear signal that this isn't just an idea you had right now. It means a decision has already been made. It's part of a plan that already exists.
And this is a perfect example of that. When you say we are going to migrate, it implies that the team has already talked about this. It's on the schedule. It's a confirmed plan. It's not just a suggestion. It's happening.
Now let's flip over to will. This is what you grab for those spontaneous moments. You use it when you're reacting to something new, offering to help out, or making a decision right there in the conversation. This is exactly it. The server going down, that was unplanned. The decision to restart it is an immediate reaction to the problem. It wasn't on anyone's to-do list for the day. That's a quick decision, and will is the perfect word for it.
Okay, so we have be going to for plans and will for spontaneous decisions. But here's where it gets really interesting. We can actually use present tenses to talk about the future. Let's look at how this works for two very specific cases: arrangements and fixed schedules.
This lays out the difference so clearly. On the left, using the present progressive, you've got personal arrangements, things we schedule with other people. Then, on the right, with the simple present, you have those fixed official schedules, things that are totally out of our control.
So when we say the team is meeting, it signals that this is a solid plan. It's an arrangement. The meeting has been planned, invites have been set, a time is set. It's a confirmed event on everyone's calendar.
But see, in contrast, the webinar starts at 7 p.m. happens no matter what we do. It's part of a fixed, official schedule, kind of like a train timetable or a system's automated maintenance window. It's set by a schedule, not by a personal plan.
Okay, time to level up. Let's add some more advanced forms to our toolkit. And these are super useful for when you need to talk about actions that will be in progress, already finished, or going on for a while at some point in the future. This timeline shows it perfectly. With the future progressive, we're basically zooming in on a specific point in the future, in this case, 10 p.m., and describing what will be happening right at that moment. The process will have already started, but it won't be finished yet. It's in progress.
Now, with the future perfect, our focus changes from in progress to completed. That little check mark tells the whole story. The action, user testing, is going to be finished before we even get to that Monday deadline. The key word to listen for here is by. It signals a deadline for completion.
And finally, with the future perfect progressive, it's all about duration. How long has something been happening? We're looking ahead to a future point, this Friday, and we're emphasizing how long that activity will have been going on. It's not about being finished, it's about the time invested.
All right, let's talk about a rule that's super important but also one where people get tripped up all the time. We're going to look at how to structure sentences correctly when you have a time clause, using words like when or after to talk about the future. Getting this right is a huge step up.
Here it is, the golden rule. In the part of the sentence that starts with a time word like when, after, or as soon as, you just use the simple present tense. You don't use will. So, it's when the client approves it, not when the client will approve it. The will belongs in the other part of the sentence.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, so let's pull it all together. We'll do a quick summary of our entire future tense toolkit, and then we'll shine a spotlight on a few common mistakes so you know exactly what to look out for.
Think of this table as your ultimate cheat sheet. You've got will for that immediate decision, be going to for a prior plan, the present tenses for your arrangements and schedules, and of course, the advanced forms for talking about progress, completion, and duration. It's the whole toolkit in one place.
And let's really make this stuff stick by looking at what not to do. First, remember that time clause rule, when the manager arrives. Second, if it's a plan you made before, use be going to. And third, if you're talking about an action that'll be in progress at a specific time tomorrow, the future progressive sounds much more natural. I will be working. Seeing the right way next to the wrong way really helps.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Now that you have this complete toolkit for talking about the future, how are you going to use these different forms to communicate more clearly about your next project deadline or your next software release? Thanks so much for tuning in.